welcome back to the Stoop. But when was the last time you were here in a professional or non-professional capacity?
Well, I didn't look quite as old as I do right now, so it was the last game before lockdown 1.0 in a while.
We've got loads to talk about today, but let's start with the T-shirt next to you. It's the Movember match. It's a huge thing that's really sort of caught fire with rugby. It's something that really resonates with supporters and players alike. So what is Harlequins' involvement and the Foundation's involvement today?
So we've got a partnership with Movember. We're the only rugby club in the world at the moment, and we're piloting a programme called Ahead of the Game. In fact, we've just finished the pilot. The T-shirts the players are going to wear today, the significance of the 60 is that we lose 60 men to suicide every hour across the world, so there's a real big number, and it's around raising awareness around self-harm and suicide. And the programme we deliver is about equipping young athletes in our community clubs with the knowledge and dispelling some myths around anxiety and depression. But it's not only just the young athletes, it's also providing the parents and the coaches with that knowledge as well, so the three parties can speak confidently with each other, and hopefully we can help support young athletes and their mental well-being.
So Quins being the only club in the world with that partnership, obviously that's something that you're very proud of, but is that something that you want to remain exclusive, or would you like other clubs, other teams, organisations to have similar partnerships?
I mean, I feel like a Bond villain when I say that, but no, most definitely. It's also being trialled through some governing bodies, so the New Zealand Rugby Union are doing a similar programme. It's been run through Australian football, or Aussie Rules football, and the Rugby League World Cup are delivering it next year as well. So it most definitely is about trying to work out what works well, tweaking it and then delivering it across as many clubs and providing that knowledge so that we can help save lives.
So the players are going to be warming up in those T-shirts today. Is there anything that Quins fans, Quins members can do?
Yeah, so we've got a number of our fundraising initiatives. So if you care to join the Mighty Draw that is launching again tonight, you can do that. And we've got our goal giving initiative as well. So we've got a number of our fundraising programmes. There's the pin badges that we're selling at the moment. And you can also donate to the team. So there's a number of the team are either growing, moving or hosting for our Movember. See how I did that then? And you can go onto our website and donate, and any donation is much appreciated, and it will all go towards that particular programme and help support and hopefully save some young people's lives.
Now, I love charity, but I also love winning a few quid. So tell me about the Mighty Draw. The
Mighty Draw, that's it's been going a couple of seasons now, and we've now moved it to some cash prizes. So you can purchase a ticket or several tickets if you so choose, and the draw is at half time. And this season it's also going to be home and away games. So again, all that money will be invested into the foundation programmes, and hopefully it's a bit of fun as well for our supporters.
I'm trying to avoid using words like unprecedented because I'm as fed up with them as the next man. But the last 6, 7, 8 months have been different for sport, have been different and difficult for charity. How have you been affected, and have you still been able to do all of the great community work that you do with the foundation?
Of course we've been affected, but both on an individual and personal level. We've all been affected within the club and in the wider community. Naturally, we've all felt the ramifications of the pandemic. But on a positive note, we've been really, really encouraged and pleased. I mean, my team have been different class. The team, the wider team in the club have been unbelievable. The support the club is still giving us as the foundation in the situation they find themselves is unparalleled, and I genuinely mean that, even though I'm on Quins Live and I'm sat in the Stoop and their ears. But the support we're getting is unparalleled. And what I'm really pleased about is if any of the team I'm so proud of them in how they have adapted so quickly to delivering online, whether it's our education programmes or our wellbeing programmes, to the call-in campaign, to delivering food to over 75-year-old vulnerable people in the Hounslow community, or to our events and fundraising that our events team have quickly turned on to become virtual. All of that stuff, I was looking at it yesterday. I've got a board next week, and in the board papers I realised that we have had as much impact during this period of time, in a different way, but as much impact in the number of people who have seen and the delivery we've done as we had expected to before the pandemic, which is testament to all the hard work of the team, and I'm incredibly proud and really, really pleased that we can take that position and I think really start to have an impact on the community.
Well, because I was going to ask you who benefits from the Harlequins Foundation, but just in that few sentences then, you talked about young people and the educational benefits and the elderly people who are getting food delivered. Like, your reach is huge.
It's a constant tension we have. You know, what we want to do is we can't be all things to all people, but we have an opportunity to leverage the unique position we have in the community to have a really broad, almost have a broad church of interventions and not limit ourselves to a particular area. But getting that message across to everyone can be quite challenging. So we know what we do internally, and sometimes we forget that we have to really clearly convey those messages to the wider supporter base. But yeah, it's pretty vast. Broadly into 3 areas: skills, well-being, and inclusion, which hopefully are names that people recognise. And skills really is our education and training and programmes, which are targeting those marginalised, furthest from the job market, perhaps excluded from mainstream education, finding kind of traditional education or training pathways challenging, so we're doing that intervention. Our well-being is through programmes like that Movember partnership, but also physical programmes that might deal with long-term health conditions and providing that support and doing it in a setting such as this, or using the brand of Harlequins, we find gets us cut through into the communities that traditional statutory agencies may not be able to achieve. And the inclusion bit is really working with those groups who might traditionally be underrepresented in playing and or watching rugby. So whether it's minority ethnic groups, whether it's people who live in what the class is low socioeconomic areas, which is where I came up, you know, in a council estate, our disability work that we do. So really trying, although quite a broad suite of programmes, trying to target it into those who are going to benefit the most. And I'm really pleased in such a short space of time, really, in the grand scheme of things, as the organisation, we're really punching above our weight.
You also do brilliant work to get the supporters involved. So finally then, every time I go on the social media, I see a great Harlequins Foundation event. So for the people who are watching who might not have been involved with one, what are a few of those events and how can Quins supporters get involved?
So yeah, there's some events we put on. There's other events that some of the supporter organisations are doing. So Quins are supporting us through an event they've got in a couple of weeks. They can just have a look on our socials, sign up for our newsletter, because you'll get all of that information through. We've had evenings with, so we had a great one. The last one was actually around Movember again. We had Jade Conkle, Leah Lyons, Martin Andagio, James Chisholm, Joe Gray, all talking about their experiences around resilience and sport. So you get a real nice insight into not only Quins' life but also outside of the pitch. And we've got a wine tasting event that's been supported by it wouldn't be Quins if it wasn't a wine tasting event. And we've got loads and loads of bits and pieces that have really pivoted to a kind of virtual engagement, and hopefully, if with a fair wind and if all things are true as has been reported in the media, and we can get this vaccine going, we'll have some live events further on in the year, such as our rival ride, and that'll be actually the last home game of the season. Little insight here for you, hasn't even been announced, is the plan, and we'll be doing a big leaving and arriving back at the Stoop. I haven't had any of that approved by anybody at the club yet, but we'll see.
But I do feel like we've just got a scoop. So
I think so. You heard it here first, people.
Thanks for your time, Mark. Enjoy the game tonight and keep up the good work.
Cheers. Come on, you Quins.